All right, we're locked and rolling. Good deal. All right, we're ready to roll. Big start.
It is October the 15th, Tuesday, 2024, 10 a.m. I'll make a motion at the regular meeting of the Navarro County Commissioner Court come to order. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we are in session. I'd ask everyone to please stand for opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask Commissioner Brewer to lead us in prayer today.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings of life that you give us. We thank you for the blessings you give us living in this country. Father, we just pray that you be with us today as we make decisions regarding the county, that it be in the best interest of all of our county residents. We do the right thing. Go with us now. Forgive us where we failed you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas flag. Honor
the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You may be seated.
Is there a recorder on?
This one is, yeah. Yeah, it's looking at everybody. Say something. All right. All right, folks. First person that signed up, I really can't tell what that name is.
Yes, you can.
That's what I thought. Miss Malott. All right.
Folks, my name's Paula Malott. I'm 77 years old. I have lived at Corbett for 52 years. My daughters were born and raised there. They have ancestors that were living there when we moved out there that have passed on. Corbett has been belonging to the Keith and the Ross and the Skinners forever. When I bought my little house, little country house with a little bit of land, I had a garden. My kids could play in the front yard and up down the road safely. Now, without Corsicana, and I'm blaming Corsicana for this, they moved in this Bitcoin mining thing. After they sealed the deal, they told the Net County people, oh, look, y'all got a Bitcoin mine coming in. Aren't you happy? No, we're not happy. They snuck it in on us. Our representative, Cody Harris, was asked, why didn't you let us vote? Because Don Denbo said it was a good deal. Corsicana got how much money off of Bitcoin so far? For their schools and their college? How much? How much has Corbett Fire Department got? How much are we gonna get? Those trucks are up and down our road day and night. 24/7. Our road, 2452, is in tatters. We have to pull out of our driveway every morning very carefully to keep from being run over by employees hurrying to and from the plant. When they get this thing in full force, we're not going to have any peace and quiet. They want to give abatement to this company. I say no. And I'm being nice. Heck no. You people need to think about it. Y'all work for us. Y'all didn't let us vote on this Bitcoin thing. We got Oak Valley wants to take Corbett in. No on that too. We're Corbett. We don't want to be part of them. And they've got ideas they're going to take the road in, the side of the road, and get lots of money from Bitcoin, and we're going to be at their discretion. No. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Teresa Hibbets. Okay,
Hi, my name is Teresa Hibbets, and I came down to ask y'all to vote no on the tax abatement and the reinvestment zone. Sid Miller recently said that Texas does not have enough water for the people of Texas, agriculture and businesses. I know you will say you have nothing to do with the Lake and Barrel Mills, that only the city of Corsicana does. But what you decide today will affect the water supply of the citizens of Navarro County. I don't know why people don't remember the droughts of 2006 and 2011. The Navarro Mills Lake came within 90 days of being dry in 2011. In 2006, the lake was a mud hole, quote, ex-city manager Tony Stanrich. They had to run an emergency line to get water from Richland Chambers to Lake Halliburton to get the city of Corsicana water, and it only supplied half their daily needs. The rural residents got less than half. I know, I was one of them. I had to sit down and figure out if I could do an extra load of laundry without putting it over our monthly amount. Because if we went over the monthly amount, we had to pay quite a bit more, like $100 or more more. It was cheaper to go buy new sheets than it was to wash sheets. We cannot depend upon Richland Chambers for our needs if Navarro Mills Lake goes dry. It supplies the Metroplex residents, and they are on permanent water restrictions. Now, Wright will say they are going to use their retention pond. I have heard it's going to be 6 acres, 18 acres. I don't know. The size of that retention pond seems to fluctuate. They say they do not need all that much water, just enough to top off. But consistently, they have asked for 1.4 million gallons of water a day. And that is exactly how much Corbett's water contract was enlarged to. Now they say they are going to dig a well. Well, let me tell you what happens when you start pumping out an aquifer. The first thing that happens is all the natural springs are gone. But that has already happened. It happened during the oil boom. Those springs are gone. The second thing that happens is the water, anybody on a water well is going to lose their water. The third thing that happens is compactation and permeability changes. Our rivers, creeks, and the lake will change. The fourth thing that happens is the land will start to sink and we will get sinkholes. It never ends well for the communities where aquifers are pumped dry. And yes, they can be pumped dry. We do not have a limitless supply of water.
ma'am, your 3 minutes are up.
Okay,
Thank you,
I urge you to vote no.
thank you. All right, Cindy Hadaway? Okay,
Got it right this time.
good, thank you.
I have a couple of questions to begin with. Number one, why are we doing this again?
Yes.
Y'all voted no back in March, okay? No on a tax abatement. And now we're doing it again. The second question I want to ask, which is easier to answer, is which commissioner has riot in their property, their precinct?
Me.
Thought it might be you. Okay. So Riot has already been given benefits besides the power, which I'm not going to address. But if you just look on Navarro CAD last year, now, I know you're gonna say the appraisal district is not under your wing, but I'm gonna say it. Last year, their property value just on the land was like 1.2 million. This year, it's a little over $800,000. Did any of you all get a 34% decrease in your land value?
No.
And I'm talking about just the land, because if you look on Navarro CAD, the buildings that are on there aren't even included. You look on your property, yeah, I got a land value and I got a house value. And the last thing I want to say on the subject, 2 or 3 months ago, back in August, we had a commissioners meeting, and the topic of that agenda was increasing our property taxes. 3 of you voted not to, 2 of you voted for property taxes. Navarro County cannot afford tax abatements for big companies. Because you all ask to us, the citizens, to be involved when you do your budgeting next year. If you vote yes today, I guarantee you, come budgeting time, we're going to remind you that you voted on this tax abatement. And we don't want our personal property taxes raised again. That's all I can say.
I can't read this next one, okay?
Happy December.
All right, it's kind of a, and I can't tell what it says.
I have lived in Corbett all but 1 year of my 48 years. Corbett used to be a nice, quiet community. We could walk down the road or ride a bike without having to worry about being ran over by a truck hauling water that doesn't know how to drive it. We can't go to our mailbox without being almost ran over by their trucks. Each one of those trucks hauls anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 gallons of water. They are going by my property at least 10 to 20 times a day. Now tell me they're not using a massive amount of water. Because they are. The animals that used to live on that property are now coming to our backyard. Deer are getting hit on the road because they have ran them off of the property that they've lived on. They have taken a beautiful piece of nature and raped it. There is nothing left of it. It is a gravel pile and humming machines. If you go to the Corbett Road and go to certain properties, you can hear the machines day and night. You can on 709 because they have the fancy fence that helps to deafen the sound. But you can on Corbett Road. I live 2 miles from the plant and I can hear it in the middle of the night. I have had migraines since this plant opened. I have a neurological condition. It has exacerbated my condition. My dogs, my cats are nervous all the time since this business opened. Where were y'all to protect the citizens of Navarro County? I ask y'all now, vote no and protect the citizens. And I'm sorry, excuse my language, but screw the company because they are not your citizens. They didn't vote you in. We did. And we will not the next time.
Thank you. Lori Younger.
Many of these RIDE employees are actually native citizens here in Navarro County.
Go ahead, if you're a Navarro County resident, please. Anybody outside, if you're a Navarro County resident? Navarro County resident,
You are on the clock right now being paid to be here.
Everybody out?
That's not, there's a whole room in there of them.
I know.
They're on the clock.
I'm here to second everything that's already been said, especially Ms. Hadley here. Budget times are hard and I don't think that this county can afford to give tax payments to rich companies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ann McKinney Page.
21 years ago, I broke my neck and moved out here from Dallas onto a property on Ivy Ridge that my father-in-law kindly gave us access to. And in the 21 years in the 18 years that we were there first, our life was rural, quiet, comfortable, and peaceful. In the last 3 years, our life has not only been decayed, but the quality of life of all my neighbors has also decayed. And I may not be as close as she is, but I hear the noise and I have to deal with the constant traffic up and down 2452. I know what it's like to budget because I too was a public official. I spent 3 years in the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Board of Directors. So I can appreciate the importance of bringing business in, but I cannot appreciate being forced to underwrite their tax abatement here, because they have put more funny money under the table here. I've seen people who fought this project initially suddenly wake up and suddenly decide it's the best thing since sliced bread, because they have been compromised politically. There has been so much political compromise that it leaves me feeling unclean. And if I had anything to say about this whole situation, is that you have to think of your positions in politics the next time it comes around. Because as she so eloquently stated, we are not in a position as a county to underwrite this kind of an abatement. We have already seen electrical compromises, we've seen water compromises, we've seen all sorts of construction compromises. I feel sorry for the people who live down there. Their life has truly been destroyed. And I see people here whose lives are being destroyed each and every day, not just on 2452, not just on 3050, not just on 31, but everywhere up and down in our community. And it will truly be hell to pay if you give an abatement, because that will not only destroy any budget you have next time, and there will be a lot of projects you will have to say no to. You will have to say no to road repairs. You will have to say no to improvements in your areas, each and every one of your areas, because it may just be in your area. And we have talked before on the phone. We've always had a good working relationship. But if you sign off on this, we will not have a good relationship. And I do promise you that I will make every effort to make sure that each and every one of you will not be reelected, because you will be destroying each and every one of our lives and your budget. And think about that in the future. Just say no.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Ron Capehart.
Judge, members of the Commissioners Court, I want to talk about a couple of things because budgets are very important. And I think it's important to recognize that this abatement is only going to pertain to expansion of that plant, phase 2 and 3. It will not be an abatement of what is already there or the real estate. Now, yes, the value did go down by the appraisal district in 2020 for 2024, likely because the company, just like every other person's right, went in and protested their values. Yes, it was $1,271,000 the year before, but let's look at what it was the year before they bought the property. It was $31,000. So it went from 31,000 to 1.2 million in 1 year. I did a look at the prior taxes on this, and if you look at the 10 years before they purchased this property, the total taxes for the county, the school, and every entity was $1,689. Absolutely. When they purchased the property, the rollback for the 3 years prior, just the rollback alone, $14,296. And then last year on the real estate alone, they paid $19,000 in taxes. This year, they're going to pay about $12,000 in property taxes just on the real estate. Yes, those buildings are not on the appraisal district website yet because those buildings were not built as of January 1, the date that they look at. They will be on the next year when they get picked up. And the current value of the 4 buildings that are already there is still going to be taxed. The important thing that this abatement is not going to harm your budgets, because if they don't get the abatement and they don't build these things, then you're going to lose revenue in the long run after the abatement subsides in 10 years. So I think those are a couple of things worth repeating. I've been out to the facility. I have seen the 18-acre retention pond, the 2 wells that are currently being drilled right now. And so I know there's issues about wanting to talk about draining the aquifers. Both of these wells are going deep down, not at the level that people's water wells are on their normal houses. They're already over 2,400 feet each, going down and tapping into lower levels. So you don't have the aquifer draining. The aquifer that they're going to be dealing in runs from middle of Texas to eastern Louisiana. So I don't see that as a big issue. I looked at I've been to the facility, standing in the middle of one of those buildings, and I had a conversation, normal speaking voice, and had no trouble hearing, even with my hearing aids out. So, Yes, what I heard yesterday in noise, I heard traffic. I heard traffic on the roadways and I heard construction equipment running, motor graders, bobcats, those types of things. Those would not be running full time once this is up and operational. Those are construction parts for the construction of the building. But as far as the noise coming from standing at the top of the hill, you don't hear those machines running inside those buildings. And so that's my opinion.
Where's
Thank
your
you.
house?
I live north of the lake, and so I have to deal with all of the lake traffic for Richland Chambers.
Yeah, but
So
you're
that y'all
not
can
in
have
our
water.
area.
Not out there.
And that's gaslighting, by the way. When you say you can hear it and somebody else says, I don't hear anything, that's gaslighting. They're telling you that you don't hear what your own ears are.
John Blewett, Mr. Blewett. There he is.
Thank you. Last time this subject came up, each of you promised to vote no. Had the vote been recorded that day, each of you promised to vote no, and I want to urge you to keep your promise. The benefits that the mine brings to Navarro County, to my perspective, are not a whole lot. There may be a lucky miner who solves the code and gets a coin. That lucky miner will benefit enormously financially, but not the rest of us. There may be a few jobs, handful of jobs when you look at the whole county, not that many. But on the other side, there's great risk and harm. Electricity. Texas grid is still very fragile. The improvements made so far by the state are inadequate for what's coming. Bitcoin mining desires a lot of electricity quickly. They're not interested in investing in alternative energy. They want a lot of energy, a lot of electricity right now, which means burning fossil fuels. The industry creates an enormous carbon footprint. Climate change is real. More storms, more tornadoes, less homeowners insurance available at much higher premiums. And then there's water. We're in a drought. I heard the news, the weatherman say it on TV. North Texas is in a drought right now. Farmers and ranchers need that water. Farmers and ranchers produce real things that real people need, like food.
Amen.
Yes.
Not numbers that have no real matter or value to most of us. There's e-waste. You gotta have faster and faster and faster and faster computers, so the old ones have to be recycled. It's a problem for the waste problem we already have. That money could be used to fix roads. Have you driven the county roads recently? Could use some attention and prepare. So I'll be less polite than my friend in the front row. Vote not just no, but hell no.
Monica Vickery.
That's me. My name is Monica Vickery. And I was here on March 12th when y'all tabled the vote. First, y'all were gonna vote on it, then y'all decided to table it. But you, every single one of you promised us that y'all were gonna say no. I'm holding y'all to that promise. This is our county, this is our state, and we need to keep it clean. We need to be able to have our your constituents, and you need to keep your promise. So I'm saying, vote no, like you promised. Thank you.
Thank you. Roy Hignut.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you. My knees aren't good. But I live on the west side of Navarro County. So I'm not in the earshot range, I don't guess, of these folks in Corbett who talk about the problems they're going to have, and I believe it. I just read in Hood County where there's another Bitcoin mining operation. And what is a Bitcoin? What is one? I mean, if you were building golf carts, or you were pumping for oil, or if you were building cars, I mean, I could see stuff like that. A Bitcoin, where the one gentleman said, maybe if you're lucky, one guy will become a millionaire. I don't understand it. It's somebody else making all the money. Certainly not the residents of Navarro County. But in Hood County, they're already filing lawsuits. The citizens of Hood County are filing lawsuits for that Bitcoin mining operation because of the noise. And any of you that's been in the oil fields at all, you know that these oil companies, they have to build these barriers, these sound barriers, because these fans make so much noise, but they don't even really work. I've been out there and see these barriers, and you can still hear that fan going. I don't think it's fair. You folks have voted or promised that you would vote no when this kind came around. In fact, one gentleman said nada. This has got, you cannot vote yes for this. You cannot vote yes for this because it's going to hurt the residents of this county. And these millionaires that are building this are going to profit, but we're not. We're already in drought. We've had experienced droughts before. I remember when the lake was only, the water level was only a foot above the intake. And we just can't have it, gentlemen. Please vote no.
Thanks, sir. Cole, is it Haney? Haley, okay. Yes, sir.
I'm Cole Haley, I'm a project supervisor out at Wright. I'm fifth generation Navarro County resident. My grandfather's grandfather came from Cumberland County, Tennessee, started blacksmithing in the town of Navarro. I'm sure people didn't like that too much when he showed up either, you know, but it is what it is. I'm a crane operator by trade, and I had to go all the way to Odessa, Texas to get my crane operating license. I've been with Wright a year now, and I've had the opportunity to train young guys that can learn how to run a crane right here in Course County. And you don't get that. I mean, these people my age are having to leave town to go make good money and learn trades and make themselves better. But Wright's given that opportunity to make everybody better right here. So, vote yes.
Thank you. Michael Butler? Yes, sir.
Good morning, my name is Michael Butler. I'm an operations supervisor at Riot. I've been with the company since January 2nd. I went from the bottom rung data tech and up to an operations supervisor in Muscle. It's provided not only me benefits but my family. I used to have to drive back and forth to Dallas every single day just to get a decent wage. And Riot has then filled that void, and now I don't have to drive 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on traffic. And put my life at risk on the highway, because we all know how bad the highways can get, especially in the winter time. I did that for 5 years straight. I just strongly urge you guys to vote yes for this taxpayer. It's going to benefit not only us, but the community and the surrounding areas. Thank you.
Rusty Knight.
That's me.
All right.
Morning, y'all.
Morning.
Well, I call I'm fifth generation, born and raised in Navarro County. Graduating from high school out there was either two routes, either medical field or even military. It's just how it is. The only way to make money was to go out and put life at risk for instance. A lot of the companies around here don't pay a lot for electricians. Now, I don't know where y'all know where the Rio Grande Valley is, but it's not very close to here. I spent months working for a solar company in Rio Grande Valley. I spent months in Hutto, Texas, traveling from Navarro County. I have a 6-month-old daughter at home. So during her entire youth, I've been traveling to Hutto, Texas every day, rain, sleet, or snow, put food on my kids' table.
It has not been right that I cannot work in Navarro County and earn a living wage. And here in the next year, I'll be able to buy a house in Navarro County again. I will have the 6th generation Navarro County resident living here once again. We will be spending our tax dollars back in Navarro County, our property taxes in Navarro County. All of our bills could be in Navarro County again. So I'll vote, I urge you to vote yes.
Will your tax dollars offset that rebate that you're going to get?
Robert,
Harrison, sir.
thank you.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, commissioners, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Robert Elmore Harrison IV. I was born here in Corsicana. I'm the construction superintendent for Rice Platforms. I graduated from Rice High School, served in the military for 12 years in infantry. My roots in this community do run deep. My kids participate in local sports, attend local daycares. My wife and I shop, eat, and engage in every community event right here in Corsicana. Today, I'm speaking in support of the tax abatement for Riot Platforms and to shed some light on why this partnership is not only beneficial for our community and the company, but for Navarro County. Riot Platforms is committed to long-term sustainable investment in this area. With the new Jobs, Energy, Technology, and Innovation Program, better known as the House Bill 5, the state of Texas has shown a clear vision of encouraging innovation and job creation. By approving this abatement, Corsicana will be part of a statewide initiative that brings high-tech industries, energy-efficient jobs, and economic growth to Texas. But we have to start somewhere. Riot Platforms is more than just a business. We are creating real high-paying jobs in cutting-edge fields like technology and energy right here in our hometown. We are investing in local talent, offering opportunities for growth, and building a brighter future for the next generations. With this abatement, we can ensure that these benefits stay local, providing our schools and community with resources to grow alongside us. Unfortunately, there are groups spreading false information about what we do. But the truth is, Riot Platforms is here for transparency, ethical business practices, and contributing positively to the Corsicana's economy. We're here for the long haul. And this partnership we form with local businesses, schools, and residents will strengthen Corsicana's economic future. I believe this abatement is a win for us all, a chance to keep Corsicana competitive, to bring new industries to our area, and to ensure that future generations can thrive right here at home. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Cody Moeller.
Look, can I speak now? Can I wait until the agenda item?
Sure, you can wait.
Thank
Okay, Sam Lyman.
Commissioners, I'd like to wait until the agenda items are discussed.
You'll wait, okay. Sarah Lyman. I think that's a Sarah. I can't tell. Anybody else here named Lyman, last name? All right. Jackie Ricky.
That's me. Don't know me. Hey there, my name is Jackie Sawicki. I'm a founding member of the Texas Coalition Against Crypto Mining. I'm also a member of the National Coalition Against Crypto Mining and the Sierra Club's National Policy on Task Force on Crypto Mining. Today, I'm speaking in opposition of Riot Platforms getting these tax abatements. It's about $6 million. This is an independent county. We have 16% poverty rate. That $6 million could go a long way to like actually helping poor people actually create a like fixing our roads. The feral animal problem that, Oak Valley Mayor Max Taylor is scheming to fix, that could be fixed with this money. This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and they are trying to wriggle out of paying their fiduciary obligation to the county. On April 27th, the city of Corsicana announced they were building the world's largest Bitcoin mine. The people living off of 709, these beautiful people, were not informed, nor did they consent. The NABCO Chronicle was live streaming the big surprise announcement, and immediately within the chat, was overwhelming negative sentiment, concerns about the grid, about our water, about our bills, about noise. The TCAC was formally, the concerned citizens we were formed the following Monday, May 2nd, 2022. In the first week, we had hundreds of people join our Facebook group and we had hundreds of signatures. First week, we wrote letters to the editors, contacted all of our elected representatives, and we called and emailed every one of you. For over a month, we were completely ignored. Chris Woolsey of City Council of Corsicana confirmed city and county officials conspired to ice us out when he told one of his constituents, I could just be ignoring your group like everyone else. And just last month, Commissioner Brewer told a magazine reporter, I know that nobody in the county and city government is paying any attention to them. We literally represent hundreds of your constituents, and you told an international publication that you could not care less about what Navarro County taxpayers want. From day one, Riot has misled the county and the city and the public, which we have explicitly detailed on our website on a page called Myth Busting. To this day, their disinformation campaign continues with that guy, Sam Lyman. He's gonna lie out of his face when he talks. When he talks about them being transparent, they have sued the federal government to keep their energy consumption a secret. They sued the Texas AG to keep records requests from being disclosed. I was escorted out of their public meet and greet for doing, oh my God, trying to actually record what they were saying. They are absolutely allergic to transparency. They are terrified of you people in this room understanding truly what their business model is. Riot Platforms is scared of y'all. In March, Riot asked for abatements. Over 100 of my fellow Navarro County citizens called and emailed every one of you demanding you vote no. Overwhelmingly, unanimously, not one person voiced positively that they wanted this abatements. Y'all tabled it for later. Since then, Riot has essentially extorted Navarro County, which this gentleman just did, very low key. They threatening to withhold donations, stop expanding, halt hiring if they don't get these abatements that John Boswell promised them behind closed doors.
Ma'am, your time's up.
Nope, I haven't even talked about the water. Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme.
Your
This
3
is-
minutes
Thank
is up.
What?
Your 3 minutes is up.
You would let people talk a lot longer, but that's, you have, I've seen it before. You've never cut other people off, but
All
that's
right.
cool.
Whatever.
Thank you, please vote no.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David Schatz. Okay, all right. Heath Davidson.
I'll hold my time.
All righty. All right, that's everybody. All right, we will move on now to our consent agenda. Items 5 through 12, I believe, yep. And we need to pull any of these and talk about them, we can. If otherwise, we can approve this as a consent agenda as a whole. So we just need a motion to do that.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as a whole.
Second.
One question on discussion that stand, there's a lot of replats on here. Do all those meet the requirements? That's all I need.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed, motion carries. Now to our regular agenda. Item number 13 is consideration of burn ban. I think the burn ban needs to stay in place, guys, until it rains.
Yeah.
Rains significantly. It's dry. I too live at Corbett. It's real dry out there. My
We need some
cows,
rain up.
yeah, big time. But anyway,
No action.
no action, everybody. Okay. And I would request that, while we're proceeding, that there are no outbursts of any type. We are conducting business of the county. It's extremely important that we go through this properly and don't have any interruptions. Everybody understand me out there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Number 14 is public hearing for creation of reinvestment zone 24-102. So I'm opening that public hearing at this time. You guys were on a voice, whatever, instead of being part of the earlier list. Well, it's your turn. Okay.
Yeah, I'll start. My name is Cody Mulder, from here in Navarro County. I was the very first person on site at a right platform. It was September of 2022 that I was hired. I spent a month down in Rockdale. I came up here. My truck was my office. My cell phone was my internet access. And I had a porta potty outside me. First thing we did was get out there and clean up a big mess left behind by the previous owner. Things that people aren't very privy to. What they don't know is we put a lot of money just into getting that place right. We're doing everything we can to be good neighbors. What folks don't know is the number of employees we put out there. The abatement, numbers, they're conservative because we better be logical about the numbers we request on the jobs we're going to create. January 2nd, I started hiring crews. You've heard someone talk already. I was the EPC, that's the construction manager, and then as of July, I transitioned over to operations. Now I'm not building the place, I'm building the teams that run the place. I see firsthand the impacts that we're making on hiring here locally. I've got single moms, I got single dads, I've got families with a bunch of kids and a bunch of family right here. They don't have the luxury of driving back and forth to Dallas. They're making good money right here. And I want to see that keep up. There's a lot of misconceptions about the water we're going to consume. It is for coming out of the Woodbine Aquifer. Several of y'all know.
It's coming on. No.
Didn't we just have a conversation? Didn't we just have a conversation about interrupting them? I thought we did. So, but my point is, Mr. Bill Stoner, he's been drilling here since the sixties. A lot of y'all know. We're drilling down into the Woodbine Aquifer, two water wells that runs from Lake Whitney all the way to eastern Louisiana. It's about 2,400 deep and it runs down to about 3,000 deep. So I asked Bill Stoner, I said, you worried about drawing down this aquifer? They said, no, Doug, I've been drilling through it since the sixties and I ain't drawing it down yet. What folks also don't know is that we filled up Navarro Mills Lake off of that same aquifer one time before during the drought. So if y'all will look at the Texas data website for the lakes, you can find all of it. Our lake is, I don't work. So, but to my point, our retention pond, it wasn't gonna be an item, it wasn't gonna be something we built originally, nor were the wells. I had the conversation as a local because I heard the complaints and the concerns. I went back to them, I said, let's do it. We drew up an 18.5 acre retention pond, it's about 125 million gallons. To that, we feed 76.5 acres of storm drainage. We collect all of our storm water and we shoot it into there. We're harvesting storm water and we're coming out of an aquifer that no one has the money to get to around here. Those that do work off of wells around here, you probably work off the Nakatosh or a shallow water well. It's about 80 to 140 feet deep. All that information is available. There's no secret about the money we put into the community. That's on the abatement application. The taxes increase. After the first year, what happened whenever we rolled out our tax report after the first year, our numbers have gone up. Why'd it go up? It go up because we're creating jobs and spending money. Those of y'all that have been invited, we've invited everybody. We've even invited those that disagree with us. They haven't shown up. The ones that do show up and come out there, they see that we don't make this noise that everybody thinks we do. This is liquid immersion. That means it stays down in a dielectric fluid and you don't hear the loud humming created by air racks. Air racks is what's over in Hood County.
There's 1,000 fans right
Here we
now.
go again. They're up.
There's 1,000 fans. up
Oh,
there.
ma'am, I will have you removed if you continue to do that.
Y'all are right, budget times are hard. Phase one's here. Y'all voted no on that abatement, all right? We're at phase two. You say no to this abatement here, there goes another 60% that you won't even get 50% of those taxes. So 50% of something is a lot better than zero of no expansion. So Ron, to your point, I appreciate you running some numbers and accurate numbers and showing up to represent us. And I just encourage y'all to please consider voting yes for this abatement.
Thank you.
Commissioners, Judge Davenport, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
again for the time. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Today, I would like to talk about full hard facts, numbers. I'm going to relay facts that can't be disputed because they're quantifiable and they can be verified. So the first number I want to give you is 110,000. That's how much the Riot Platforms has given to the community through philanthropic organizations over the last year. That goes to organizations like YMCA, like Boys and Girls Club. Second number, 210,000. That's how much money that we have pledged to philanthropic organizations across the county over the coming time. In addition to that, I would like to talk about another number, 70. What is that 70? 70 decibels. That's the amount of noise that is made on our, please let me try to speak. That's how much noise is made on the factory floor with our Bitcoin mine. 70 decibels is about the same noise that an air conditioning unit makes. It's about half as much noise as the Texas Coalition Against Crypto Mining makes online. That is all to say that it is nowhere near what you would expect. There's a lot of misinformation out there. I would like to say that misinformation can get halfway across the world before the truth even has a chance to put its pants on. Let's put the pants on the truth today. Another number I would like to point out, $1.4 billion. That's $1.4 billion in taxable sales that can benefit this community over the next decade. I'm speaking right to the camera right now. Another number, $115 million in wages. That's $150 million in wages that will come to the county over the next decade if we can get this tax abatement approved. We have with us here professional activists, people who come in and make a lot of noise to try to portray that there isn't support for this. But the last number I want to point out is 155. 155 full-time employees that we've created right here in Corsicana, not to even mention the hundreds of contractors that are helping us build those sites. By raise of hand, who here wants this tax abatement to pass today? You want to get this? You want to go next?
These are all, people are all being paid to be here. They're on the clock and they're being.
These are volunteers as well. You want to go outside and see the hands that are raised outside too? You don't want to. That's exactly. That rests, my point can rest right there. There's so many more people that support this that are coming here.
Being paid to be here.
This is my time.
All right, y'all.
Thank you. There are so many more
He's talking to
people
me.
that support this.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, I mean.
And all of us collectively here, Jackie,
Zip it.
all of us collectively here support this tax abatement today. So please support this tax abatement. Thank you.
Thank you. You next.
So first, I want to thank you guys for your time, for coming out and listening to us.
Oh my God.
Excuse me, ma'am. So first off, I want to kind of cover, there's been a lot of misinformation that's been spread about us. Since day one, Riot has been transparent about what we're doing here in the community, what we've done in the past. This is a rinse and repeat of what we've done in Rockdale. We have a proven track record. All of the concerns and complaints that you've heard about what is operating at our mine and out at that site, not a single person here complaining has been to the site. And every one of them has been invited on multiple occasions, as well as the entire rest of the community. We've held multiple town halls to explain what Bitcoin is, to explain what the actual Bitcoin and the mining process of what that looks like. We've held 2 of them in town. We've paid for the venue, we've paid for the food at the venue, and we've paid for people to come out. So we are more than transparent and still happy to have anybody out the site to explain what we're doing. So we talk about there's some secret person making millions of dollars off of this and everybody else is going to suffer. We are talking about just a small percentage of the 155 full-time employees that we have here. We have 50 here saying, hey, I make a great wage. I'm able to live and work in Corsicana and spend my dollars here, which goes back into the community to the local restaurants, the local tire shops, the local dealerships when they're buying cars. They're buying houses here because they can stay here. You heard this gentleman talking about having to drive to Hutto. I have a young child. I cannot imagine having to drive 2 hours, 3 hours one way to go to work or being away for months at a time. So we've talked about, we've displaced all these animals and we're destroying the land. The land was terrible, as Cody mentioned, we showed up. We had to mitigate so much trash and clean it up. On top of that, we have about 80 acres that's unused, but we planted 1,000 trees that is protected, that we do not touch on the back of the land. You can look at the Google Maps. We're welcome to bring you out for a tour to show you 1,000 trees that we planted out of our own pocket. Nobody told us we had to do it because we're good stewards of the community. We talked about dogs having some issues. Since 2019, my dogs have come to work almost every day with me. And they come to the site. There's not a person here that hasn't met them. They come to the site, they roam the site. They've done it in Rockdale, they've done it in Corsicana. Not one of them have an issue. We talk about people getting sick from the sound and the noise. When we started this company, slept in my office. I had a couch in my office and I didn't leave for weeks at a time. I have not once been sick. I have not once thrown up. I've never had any medical conditions. I'd be the first person to experience that. We talk about what benefits does Riot provide. I'm paying jobs to all of the employees here. They have 401k, they have full health benefits for them, 100% covered, and then we cover a percentage of their family. They get stock, they get bonuses. We pay them gas card to show up to work every day. Just to show up to work. Hey, we understand times are tough. We're going to pay you to come to work. pay you to come to work, so you don't have to fit that cost out. We pay for everybody's lunch at site. Anything that we can do, we provide back because they're the ones building it, not some secret hiding off in a different country. This is an American company in America with American jobs, right? And, we talk about trucks running 24/7. We had community members come to the town hall and express concern. We changed our trucking schedule around. So if you have trucks running 24/7, it's not coming from us. And let's talk about it, because we can also change up our process, but we aren't running trucks at 2 AM. Now, every once in a while, if we have a concrete pour, I will say we do have concrete pour because it has to happen early in the morning, right? The way the weather is, Texas is hot, we have to accommodate that. But as far as the sound from the machines going, that's a picture of the daylight, it looks like. The sound of the machine, there is not a single mining machine in this county that has a fan on it. So whatever that number is coming in, we have thousands and hundreds of thousands of fans, it is completely false. We've had tours around it. We've literally had conversations in the buildings. You can hear it's no louder than an air conditioner, and it's from the equipment outside that's running, that cools the mining equipment. But there's not a single fan on the machines. The concerns that people have, they're talking about these other mines in other places that are being debunked, and there's concerns of noise. Absolutely, it's true. We are running two completely different companies. It's no different than a factory building one way and another factory building another way. We do not use the same equipment that some of these other counties are using, or these companies are using in other counties. So with that, you know, I wish you to consider this abatement. I'm sorry. We had an individual give up their time.
I'd like to get my time down.
So with that, we want to continue spending money here. We want to continue to be able to provide good working wages for these employees. And with our phase 2 expansion, our plan is to hire another 100+ employees at the same wages, crane operators, electricians, to grow, to live here, work here, buy houses here, and help this county. So we're going to continue to do, there's no dangling the carrot. We're going to still continue, you know, paying into the community that we do for our donations. That's a part of us being good stewards. Our employees live in the county, and it's important for them that we're donating to their local organizations, whether it be the YMCA and some of those things. So there's no dangling carrot, as it's mentioned here, that we're threatening to not spend money. We're going to continue spending money as we have. We just would prefer to spend some of the money into expansion, right? That we can pay higher wages and hire more and more people. So I hope that you consider voting on this abatement. Thank you for the time.
Is there someone else? Anybody? No? Okay, good deal. All right, I will close this public hearing as of right now. And item number 15 is consideration of approving the order to create and designate reinvestment zone number 24-102. Need a motion to go into that, please.
This is in precinct 4. And I have visited Wright Blockchain. I've gone on 2 tours out there. I've also been on the property on a couple of occasions. And we did not table any thing back in March. We did not table any action on the abatement that was requested that was on the agenda. We took no action on it. That's different. You
But I heard
asked,
you say we're going to.
ma'am, it's my turn to talk. And I'm not going to be interrupted.
I'm sorry.
Please, thank you. We tabled it at that time. You asked us how we would vote at that time. You didn't ask us about promising something in the future. It was no promise. At that time, with the information that I had, I said that I would vote against it. Okay? Since March, we've done a lot of research. The bottom line with this is we're looking at benefit for the county. Okay? With that being said, if we grant them an abatement, then they're going to expand their operation. They're going to employ 140 more people. And their expansion is going to be about 150% of what their production is right now. And that's going to be about 150% on their taxable value, which means that's going to be a lot of tax money for us. If they don't get the abatement, they're probably gonna put the expansion in Rockdale or in Kentucky where they already have abatement. And we will get no benefit from it at all.
But we're not getting benefits.
Ma'am,
Hey,
ma'am,
ma'am,
we've listened to y'all. It's our turn now.
I'm sorry. Again,
This will give us the amount of tax money with the abatement that we're gonna get, more than likely will allow us to reduce the tax rate for all residents of Navarro County. That's the amount of money that they're going to produce. If not, with the way inflation is, and with this election coming up, if inflation keeps going up, tax rates are probably gonna go up, because we're required to provide goods and services. So, with that being said, I'm gonna make the motion to move to approve the order designating the reinvestment zone number 24102.
go here a second, please. No second, I'm gonna second it then. And would ask for, a vote on this, Commissioner Grant,
This is just for the reinvestment zone.
right,
Aye.
Mr. Perry?
Aye.
Okay. Mr. Moore, thank you. Mr. Brewer,
Aye.
very well, unanimously passes. All right, number 16 then, is consideration of approving a resolution for tax abatement between Navarro County and Riot Corsicana LLC.
For the reasons stated, I make a motion that we approve the resolution for a tax abatement between Navarro County and Riot Corsicana LLC.
Ask for a second, please. Then I'll second it. And ask for a vote. Mr. Grant,
No.
Mr. Perry. Okay. Mr. Moore,
No.
no? Okay, Mr. Brewer,
Aye.
all right, that gives us a 3-2, we'll all break it, make sure it's adequate, and vote aye. So it does pass.
Oh. Good. Can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
When they were talking earlier, both sides, I want to say that there is a lot of misinformation out there. And that every time I've dealt with the company, they have been very forthcoming. They've been very gracious. I have friends that work out there that are making a good living. And I've seen them, I go to everything out in the community. I see them there. I see them contributing money and time and effort into programs in our community. And I think that they're a good company. But I do think that because of the misinformation out there, there's a lot of people out there that don't, know exactly what's going on. They're against it. They don't want that. And I've said this before, and I'll say it today. It doesn't always matter what I think. It matters what my constituents think. And I have to represent what they want me to represent, and that's why I voted no. But it's nothing against, I didn't do it for you, ma'am. I did it for my constituents, but I do want to say that I appreciate everything that y'all done in our community.
Don't mind if we excuse ourselves, you can go on your rest of your business.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, thank you.
Thank y'all very, very much. Thank
How
you.
much did y'all get private fire department?
How much did you ask for?
They don't have to ask. They're all volunteers. Y'all should be giving to them anyway.
Thank y'all again.
You
Thank-
need to learn.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank
you. Not the wood.
I'm sorry you don't agree with me.
What it's called, the water board.
I sit on one of the I know. I sit on one of Help save the incident. I appreciate y'all. was not one next to mine, I'll see. But I've got to do my best for the whole town.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Woodbine offer is 100 miles west of them. I've talked to the ex-water development authority. I've talked to the, Trinity River Authority. I've talked to the regional water supply. That is not water for their tapping into. They're tapping into the national patch that everybody has, their well.
And then you can always see.
Now, he says he's not.
No, ma'am, you're done. You're done.
Opposition.
Take her out.
Hey, Ms. Sawicki,
Thank you.
Ms. Sawicki, I will answer that. You want me to answer that? I had 19 calls against it, 133 for it.
Sure, and I bet they were on the clock when they called. Congratulations for exploding.
That's over now.
Oak Valley's not trying to take over the court. Have you been to the meetings? Were you there, Lisa?
Yeah, you're talking about the number machines that they donated to you.
They did donate one, we bought one,
Yeah.
help all of our
And
roads.
they expect preferential treatment on getting their roads done by y'all. I read all their minutes.
All right, we're still on the agenda, folks.
Yes.
Item 17 is consideration of approving a resolution and tax abatement for Corsicana Revitalization District CDRD 5-year tax freeze for Catherine Habel and Susan Habel Smith. Anybody here, John?
Thank you, Judge. This is a downtown tax freeze for 5 years. For property 120 West Collins, city council approved their version last night. So this will be yours. As part of that program, as you know, they'll freeze their taxes for 5 years. They must then maintain that property at the market value for 10 years before they're eligible to reapply again. That's for those guidelines.
We love people that are enhancing and redoing downtown Corsicana that's collapsed over the years and doesn't look real well. And I think it's a great program, period. That's for a motion, folks, on this.
I make a motion that we approve a resolution and tax abatement for Corsicana and Revitalization District 5-year tax fees freeze for Catherine Haber and Susan Haber Smith.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 18 is consideration of changing Monday, November 11, 2024 Commissioners Court date to Tuesday, November 12, 2024, due to the Veterans Holiday.
I'll make a motion, we move the Commissioners Court meeting on November the 11th to November 12th due to the Veterans Day holiday.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Brewer, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 19 is consideration of approving a tax collection report for September 2024. Mr. Mike Dowd,
Morning, y'all.
you have the floor, sir.
All right, so far, for the year of 2024 collections, $29,590,922.60, which is ahead of this time last year, which was $27,275,708.20. We are, percentage wise, we're 0.14% behind where we were last year, but we are $2,315,214.40 ahead. We have collected 97.11%.
Good. Any questions or discussions, gentlemen? I'd ask for a motion to approve, please.
I move that we approve the tax collection report for September 2024 by Mike Dowd.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Brewer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Got something else for you while I'm
Yes, sir.
speaking. Tell them, Ron. So due to some good tax sales 2 years ago, we had sales where we sold delinquent properties. They sold for more than the taxes, were due. And so, as you all aware, I come from time to time because the previous owners have 2 years to make application for those funds to get those from the court. If they don't make application, those monies revert back to the taxing entities on a pro rata share. So I'm here with some excess proceeds today for some of those sales that we had back in July and August 2 years ago. And so as you're aware, these are non-budget line items, so the county can use this money as you see fit. It's not earmarked for a specific budgetary item. But I'm gonna present Mike with checks totaling $75,436.10 today as the county's portion of those excess proceeds. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Surprise money.
Yeah, we'll take it. All right, number 20 is consideration of approving a final plat of Alberto Heights addition for Alberto Vasquez. Stanley, thank you.
This one. It is, it's went through the lake area planning and zoning commission, and did make approval with them. It meets the state and local regulations for any subdivision, creation of subdivision. There is a water district that signed off on it, and their section of the property, I believe it was like a corner of it that had some of their jurisdiction. They signed off on this one and the following plan here also. They have given on both of them. There are deed restrictions with both of these subdivision applications. And that's what it's asking today that Commissioner approve his subdivision plan. I gave my copy away for not here. I believe it's gonna be 21 tracks within that property. There's a 60-foot right of way that he's gonna make it, create a private road, and it's gonna be a cul-de-sac. That also meets the state local regulations for the right of way. It's gonna remain private. He has clause written in the plat itself that explains that the property owner is responsible for maintenance on the roadway, not the county. And again, like I say, he's asking commissioners to approve his 21 track property there, and again, they're all local land.
Self-maintained. Okay.
They have letters from all the utility companies, all for water and.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, we need a motion to approve that final plat, please.
That's gonna be in my area, and I'll make a motion to approving the final plat for Alberto Heights addition for Alberto Vasquez.
Give a second.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Grant. All in favor, please say aye. Any
None of
opposed?
these in a floodplain?
No.
Okay. Any opposition? Thank you. Number 21 is consideration of approving a final plat of Chambers Crossing for Rick Justice. Stanley?
Again, this is in the Lake Shore area. Planning and zoning has already given their prior approval on it. And Mr. Justice was here earlier, but I think he left. It's 59 acres that he's not creating any roadways within this subdivision. He's going to use the existing county road that borders east and west property. And again, I have all the letters from water companies, power company, they're all water district. Also signed off on this one. They're both 1 acre minimum. Just asking the commission board to do the same and for approval for the commission board here. So.
All right. Any discussion, gentlemen? If not, I'd ask for a motion, please.
I've visited this place several times, working with Mr. Justice on this, and I'll make a motion to approve the final Chambers Crossing.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Can I
Motion
say
carries.
something?
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for y'all's dedication.
Yeah. Number 22 is consideration of approving Texas Department of Agriculture, Texans Feeding Texans Home Delivered Meal Program, Grant Program to Meals on Wheels, North Central Texas. Anybody here to talk about that? Wasn't real sure about. I think we just seemed like we
This
did
is
good.
annual
Yeah,
housekeeping.
it's the annual deal. All right. Just need a motion then. to approve that.
I move that we approve Texas Department of Agricultural, Texas Feeding Texans Home Delivered Meal Grant Program to Meals on Wheels, North Texas, North Central Texas.
All right.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Brewer. Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Brewer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's a really good program feeding folks that can't even hardly get out of their house or apartment or
I
wherever they're
went with
staying.
them one day last year when they were delivering meals, so they've got a very efficient program and it's well used, well needed.
My wife does it also,
Yeah.
works hard that program doing it. It doesn't work for them, volunteers
Yeah.
for it herself.
My wife delivered meals and I helped her one time.
I have to say,
Years
my
back.
daddy benefited from it. They were able to stay in their townhouse for several years because they were able to get those meals and they would have had to go to the nursing home center.
Oh,
It's a great, it is a great program.
And there was a time when she couldn't do it,
You did
that
it.
I did it.
Yeah.
So it's a good program, great to do. Number 23 is consideration of approving an interlocal agreement between the city of Dallas and the Navarro County Office of Emergency Management. Anybody here on that?
Looks like Brett Latta. I wonder if this is this a radio deal?
Well, it could be. Wish I knew.
Yeah, I glanced at it.
Yeah, I see
hadn't read
a
the
site
whole thing.
repeater, I see site repeater, this is gonna be
Yeah,
a
that's
radio.
great.
Okay.
deal.
Just need a motion and a
Roll
second.
it, roll it.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion, that we approve an interlocal agreement between the city of Dallas and the Navarro County Office of Emergency Management.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Perry? What you said?
Yeah.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 24 is consideration of declaring the listed Navarro County Sheriff vehicle as surplus.
So we've got a 2015 Tahoe, it's pushing 180,000 miles. It's missing on one of the cylinders and the AC is going out. So the cost of the reward at the end of the day, it's out in the spot, plus the equipment involved with it is also 10 years old. So we're replacing the vehicle, plus all the equipment involved in it to be surplus out.
Any discussion on that, gentlemen? If not, I'd ask for a motion, please.
Make a motion, we declare the listed Navarro County Sheriff's vehicle as surplus.
Second.
Thank you, guys.
Motion made by
Thank you.
Commissioner Brewer, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
A side note,
I'll get with you. Okay.
Number 25 is consideration of approving Xerox lease agreement for 2 printers for the Navarro County Sheriff's Office. Need a motion to go forward with that, John.
Any info?
Not informed on any of that.
Usually the way it works.
Normally it's cheaper, better and faster. That's what Terry
Cheaper,
tells us.
yeah, fairly always cheaper. Anybody want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion approving Xerox lease agreement for 2 printers for the sheriff's office.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Perry, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 26 is consideration of approving 3M contracting to cross Northwest County Road 2190 in precinct 4.
This is about, maybe a half mile from my house down the next road, and they want to extend the water line into the property. Evidently, there's gonna be some building going on there, and they need to run down the right of way, but everything's within the limits. They're gonna bury it deep enough and take care of it. They talked to me about that, and, I'll make a motion that we approve 3M contracting across Northwest County Road 2190.
That's you, Commissioner Grant?
Yeah.
Oh, it was you. Motion made by Commissioner Brewer, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 27 is consideration of approving a purchase request for precinct 4 to purchase 2 trucks.
We're looking at purchasing some pickups. I'm currently running 2 1990s model pickups. When I had one, in May, when I had it, inspected to register, the guy told me he would not inspect it again. So we don't use them on a daily basis. We use them to travel to our maintainers or mowing tractors wherever we park them. They don't go on highways hardly at all, but they're getting to be too costly, so I need to replace those 2. I'll make a motion that we approve the purchase of 2 pickups for precinct 4. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Brewer, seconded by Commissioner Grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 28 is consideration of approving purchase order request for Texoma Hida in the amount of $31,911 with Rapid Assault Tools, a solo source vendor. Okay, anybody know anything about that?
That is, the HIDA grant, of course, those funds come from HIDA, it doesn't affect the county budget at all, and that's just an equipment that they're needing.
We get a stipend, we get money for,
Actually, sole source vendor and not solo.
okay.
Oh.
Reason we do that is that our auditors get to do the bookkeeping for this particular company that's, looks out to try to determine what the best way is to suppress, I'll put it that way, the bad use of drugs. Okay, sales of drugs, illicit sales, that sort of thing. And so they pay us a little bit of money to go put all of that through this court, and been doing it for years and it works great. Every now and then they'll change something and it'll be in the millions of dollars, and so it's really amazing. All right, we need a motion on that, please.
I move that we approve purchase request for Texoma Hida in the amount of $31,911 with Rapid Assault Tools for sole source vendor.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Brewer. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 29 is consideration of approving to pay one invoice for Comfort Technologies LLC without a purchase order for Texoma Hida. And now y'all know what this is all about and why we're doing it. Well, there you are. So we need a motion,
I'll make
please.
a motion that we approve to pay one invoice for Comfort Technologies LLC without a purchase order for Texoma Hida. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Grant, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 30 is consideration of approving to pay one invoice for coal distributing without a purchase order for precinct 2.
This was mine, and I'll make a motion of approving to pay one invoice to Coal Distributing without a purchase order for precinct 3. Distributing. Second.
Second.
I think Commissioner Grant beats you. Motion made by Commissioner Perry, but seconded by Commissioner Grant. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Is that phonics?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Texas phonics?
Yeah.
There you go.
Dr. Wright's team.
There you go. Number 31 is consideration of approving to pay one invoice for Coffee Center without a purchase order for the DA's office.
I'll make that motion approve to pay the invoice for Copy Center without a purchase order for the district attorney's office.
Second.
You have to think about it.
Yeah. Where are we?
It was like evidently it was a project that the district attorney was working on, and he purchased some items without,
Okay. All right, motion made by Commissioner Brewer, seconded by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 32 is executive session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, section 551 .074 to discuss personnel. Need a motion to go into that session, please.
It's 11:22. I move that we go into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 to discuss personnel. Eddie.
Motion made by Commissioner Moore, seconded by Commissioner Perry. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we are in that executive session. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you.
Y'all can go out this way, it'll be easy.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, that door's easier. Get you out of here.
Oh,
Take care of yourself, Turkey.
I'm trying.
Bless your heart. I'll see you voted on.
and what you don't know is I'm not running again.
Yeah, that-
I'm retiring in 2 years.
I don't blame you.
Well, after 20 years, it's time.
It's time.
Mhm.
Career change. You never retire.
That's cool. That's cool.
You never retire. Caroline,
Mhm.
go to work for Caroline.
There you go.
And trust me. The court- the court is a whole lot.
Yeah, but I was finding we got other things.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. George watched him all night long. That was that. Because George watched him all night long, so.